High leverage and evidence-based practices. The key to implementing instruction and having an effective classroom. What is a high leverage practice? They are practices that are essential to effective teaching and fundamental to supporting student learning. They're supported by research, available across all content areas. They're frequently used in classrooms, and there are 22 HLPs for special education. An evidence-based practice are practices that have been shown to be effective by credible research. Examples include modeling, providing scaffolded supports, demonstrating skills, and providing feedback. To know if something is an evidence-based practice, you need to locate research and the effectiveness, and see if the evidence shows an outcome in student learning. In this video, we will focus on HLP number 16, using explicit instruction. Explicit instruction is a group of effective teaching behaviors that provide appropriate amounts of clarity, guidance, and support to students who would not be able to learn in their absence. The four categories are content, design, delivery, and practice. Later in the video, we will look at an explicit lesson format and extra tips. An example of using explicit instruction in a lesson plan format looks like this. In the beginning, you have your opening where you gain student attention and state the goals and objectives. In the body, you have the I do, we do, and you do, which you will see in another video. In the closing, you review and have your closing statements, and then let the students practice. Some extra tips for designing and delivering explicit instruction is to be creative with your materials and lessons. Make adjustments as you go, seeing how the students are doing. Ask the students for their feedback and then reflect on all the assessments. The evidence-based practices I use in my teaching video are modeling and providing scaffolded support. The first step is I do, where the teacher shows the students how to solve a problem first.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about repeated subtraction, and I'm going to go first and walk through how to do it, and then we'll do it together with you and your whiteboards, and then I'll give you a problem on your own. So right now you do not need your whiteboards, but first we're going to start with 12 divided by 2. So you don't need to write this down yet, okay? No, I just want you to look up here. So the first thing we do is take our first two numbers and subtract them from each other. So we have 12 minus 2, which is
9.
Close, 10.
Oh, I messed up there.
So then we take our number that we got for our answer and also subtract that by 2. What's 10 minus 2? Oh, you're so fast. Okay, now we take this number, 8 minus 2, we get 6. 6.
Bro, let me
It's alright, Ray, you can do the next one.
Alright,
Alright, this one's for Ray. If we do 6 minus 2,
4.
4, great job. Now we keep going until we get to 0. So 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 minus 2 is
0.
So once we reach 0, we're going to circle all our minus 2's. Now not the divided by 2, because that was the problem.
6.
Nice job, and we'll count them up. We get 6 2's. So 12 divided by 2.
The second step is we do. This is where the teacher and students work together to solve a similar problem. This is also known as guided support.
So now that you guys seem like you pretty much know how to do that, that was kind of together, but write this one on your board as we go along. We are going to do 20 divided by 5. So write that on your boards.
Hold on.
What do we have here?
Bring down the 10.
Perfect.
And minus that.
Minus what?
Not by the same. For the next number. So
10 minus what?
10 minus 5 equals 5.
good job, Ray. You done?
And then, what do we do next?
5 minus 5
Yeah,
equals 0.
5 minus 5
0.
0.
Okay, so then I want to see you guys circle your minus 5's and count them up.
4.
Yeah, 4.
So 20 divided by 5 equals 4.
Missing
Great job.
I've been
So now,
The third step is you do. This is where the teacher tells the students they will be given a problem to solve on their own. This is where the teacher can assess and see how well the students are understanding the content.
Now I'm going to give you one last one to do completely on your own. And I will give you 15 divided by 3. I want you guys to do this on your own and I will come and check it. Okay? That's it.
After the third step is complete, you have the final step of giving feedback and assessing student learning. It is crucial to give positive feedback along with what the students can work on for next time. Asking questions is also important during this time. A lot of research has been done to show how effective it is to use explicit instruction in the classroom. In the scholarly article, Pragmatic Competence and Explicit Instruction by E. Ifantidou, he explains and provides research on how a group of students showed a huge improved performance after receiving explicit instruction. The article also explores how using explicit instruction helps long-term effects of learning and teaching. Jenny Root explains in her article, Effects of Explicit Instruction on Acquisition and Generalization of Concepts, how explicit instruction, especially in mathematics, is beneficial for students with autism spectrum disorder. She says when teachers use explicit instruction, they are providing students with the most supports and scaffolds to guide students through learning. The last article I will share is written by T. Wynn. The article, Influence of Explicit Higher Order Thinking Skills and Instruction on Students' Learning of Linguistics, explores HOTS, Higher Order Thinking Skills, and compares HOTS to explicit instruction. The article addresses how to give feedback, develop a positive classroom environment, and conduct small group activities. Overall, it was proven that explicit instruction of HOTS positively influences students' learning of linguistics. Some questions to think about are, as a teacher, what can you do to implement HLPs and EBPs? As a parent, how can you be sure that your students are learning using HLPs and EBPs? And as a student, have you used any of the 22 HLPs growing up or presently in school? If you have further questions or are interested in learning more about high leverage practices, I recommend reading High Leverage Practices for Inclusive Classrooms. The site to this textbook is on the resources page.